Sister canceled my wedding. Then the venue called about the $45,000 contract. It was a crisp Tuesday morning in late summer. The kind where the air still carries the faint promise of warmth before autumn fully claims the calendar. At 9:47 a.m., my phone buzzed once against the scarred oak table in my small apartment kitchen. The caller ID read Meadowbrook Estate. The name alone conjured images of ivy-draped stone walls, rolling lawns dotted with white garden chairs, and the soft murmur of a fountain in the distance. That venue had been my dream since Marcus and I first toured it 16 months earlier, back when forever still felt like something we could hold in our hands without fear. I answered cheerfully. "Hi, this is Sophie. Ms. Chin, good morning. This is Victoria at Meadowbrook Estate." Her voice was calm, professional, but there was an undercurrent of hesitation that made my stomach tighten before she even continued. "I'm calling because we received a cancellation request this morning for your October 14th reservation." The words landed like cold water down my spine. My grip on the phone tightened. "Cancellation. There must be some mistake. Who requested it?" "Your sister, Rebecca Chin." She stated that the wedding was being called off due to a family emergency and asked us to process a full refund immediately, including releasing the date for other bookings. My favorite mug, navy blue with a tiny gold constellation Marcus, had given me after our first stargazing date, froze halfway to my mouth. The coffee inside had gone lukewarm, but the chill spreading through me had nothing to do with temperature. "Victoria, I didn't authorize any cancellation. The wedding is absolutely still happening. 6 weeks from now. Everything is confirmed, the floral arch, the plated dinner, the first dance playlist." I signed every document personally. A brief silence stretched across the line, broken only by the soft shuffle of papers. "I suspected as much," she replied quietly. "Your sister called at 8:03 this morning. She was very insistent, claiming she was acting with your full permission due to the emergency." When I explained that we required direct confirmation from the contracting party before processing any changes, she became quite aggressive. Threatened to leave 1-star reviews on every platform we're listed on. Accused us of unethical business practices for holding your deposit hostage. My free hand pressed against the cool granite countertop for balance. "Please tell me nothing has been canceled. The contract remains fully intact, Ms. Chin. No action was taken, but there is one more thing." Her voice dropped lower, almost apologetic. She also requested our entire vendor contact list: photographer, florist, caterer, band, even the transportation company. Said she needed to inform them personally to prevent scheduling conflicts. I refused, citing privacy policies, but she implied she already had most of the details anyway. Mentioned something about your planning binder. The planning binder. 8 months of my life bound between laminated covers. Color-coded tabs, printed contracts, handwritten notes in the margins, receipts stapled neatly, a timeline broken down to the hour. I'd left it at my parents' house 2 weekends earlier after Sunday dinner, the same dinner where Rebecca had spent half the evening asking pointed questions about Marcus's job stability while her gaze kept drifting toward the folder on the credenza. I thanked Victoria numbly, promised to email written confirmation within the hour, and ended the call. My first instinct was denial, my second was action. I dialed the photographer, voicemail. The florist, voicemail again. The caterer picked up on the third ring. "Sophie, thank goodness," came the familiar voice of the owner, a warm woman named Alina who had hugged me after our tasting. "I was just about to call you. This morning I got an email from a Rebecca Chin saying the wedding is canceled, family emergency. She asked us to release the date and refund the deposit right away." The kitchen light seemed too bright suddenly. "Alina, it's not true. My sister sent that without my knowledge or consent. The wedding is still on. Please ignore and delete anything from her. I'll resend all confirmations today." "Of course." I marked it suspicious the second I read it. The wording was too cold, too businesslike for you. But she had our private business email, Sophie. How? The binder, I said, voice barely above a whisper. She had access to everything. I sank into a chair, staring at the fridge door where our save-the-date photo still clung, Marcus and me laughing on a park bench, arms around each other. The future wide, open behind us. The apartment felt suddenly too quiet, too small. I called my mother next. She answered immediately, voice light and cheerful. Sophie. We were just saying how much we're looking forward to seeing you at dinner this weekend. Mom! My throat closed around the word. Did Rebecca tell you what she did this morning? Of course, sweetheart. She explained it all last night when she came over. We think she's right. The floor seemed to shift beneath me. Right about what? About calling off the wedding, honey. You and Marcus have only been together 18 months. That's not very long to make such a permanent decision. Rebecca laid out some very reasonable concerns: finances, career paths, long-term compatibility. Your father and I talked about it after she left. We agree it's too rushed. She canceled my venue behind my back, contacted my vendors pretending to be me. That's not concern, that's illegal. Oh, Sophie, don't exaggerate, she's protecting you. Someone has to step in when you're too caught up in romance to see clearly. You've been so focused on this perfect wedding that you're ignoring reality. Reality doesn't include fraud, Mom. She committed fraud. Fraud, a short, incredulous laugh. You're being dramatic. Maybe all this wedding stress is proof you're not ready. Rebecca said you've been having panic attacks over the details. I closed my eyes. The only panic attacks I'd had in recent memory were the ones that came after family dinners, after Rebecca's carefully worded criticisms of my dress budget, Marcus's nonprofit salary, the small guest list. Each Sunday I left feeling smaller, doubting choices I'd once been certain about. I'm not canceling my wedding, I said slowly. Tell Rebecca to stay out of my life. Completely. I hung up before the lecture could start. 35 minutes later, Marcus's mother called. Her voice was soft, concerned. Sophie, sweetheart, I just had the strangest call from your sister. She said the wedding was off. Sounded very convincing, said you. Dee asked her to tell both families because you were too emotional to do it. I nearly believed her until she claimed you were ending things to focus on your career. That didn't sound like my Sophie at all. Marcus's mother had always been kind to me, warmer than my own parents sometimes. She listened to my stories about work, laughed at Marcus's terrible jokes, welcomed me like I belonged. It's not true, I told her. Rebecca is trying to sabotage everything. I thought it might be something like that. She even asked if we'd paid for our hotel block yet, said refunds were still possible. I told her it wasn't her place. What's going on, dear? I'm figuring it out, I said, but thank you for trusting me. I hung up, grabbed my keys, and drove to my parents' house. The 40-minute drive passed in a blur of replayed conversations. Rebecca's subtle jabs at Marcus's ambition. Her comments about marrying up, the way she'd always positioned herself as the successful one who knew better. Her white BMW sat in the driveway, vanity plate big sis shining mockingly. The front door was unlocked. I walked in without knocking. They were in the living room, coffee cups steaming, soft music playing low. Rebecca on the ottoman, Mom on the sofa, Dad in his armchair. Laughter died the moment I appeared. Rebecca smiled first, that practiced, patient smile. Sophie, good you're here. Mom and Dad agree with me now. Canceling, or at least postponing, is the sensible choice. You don't decide my marriage. Someone has to, she said gently. Marcus is nice, kind, but he's not driven. His family is sweet, but they have no influence. You're settling, Sophie. I can't watch you limit your future. Dad nodded slowly. Rebecca has a point. Marcus earns what, 45, 50,000 in nonprofit work. You make 6 figures. The imbalance is obvious long-term. You're talking about love like it's a balance sheet. Rebecca leaned forward, voice soft and reasonable, the tone that had always swayed our parents. Marriage is a partnership, Sophie. Love is wonderful, but financial and social compatibility matter just as much. I'm saving you from regret, from a divorce in 5 years when the differences become unbearable. By committing fraud, By impersonating me, by calling Marcus's family. I made calls. That's not fraud, that's caring enough to act. Mom nodded. She drove over last night to show us everything: your wedding costs, his debt, his career path. It's worrying. We stayed silent too long. My life isn't your spreadsheet. Rebecca stood, smoothing her expensive skirt. You're my little sister. Your choices affect me too. If you won't stop this, I will. You tried. Meadowbrook refused you. A shadow crossed her face, calculation. Then I'll come to the ceremony. When they ask for objections, I'll stand. I'll explain to everyone why this is wrong. Publicly, Dad frowned. Rebecca, that's extreme. No, if reason fails, truth must be spoken aloud. Silence swallowed the room. You'd humiliate me like that? I asked. To protect you? Yes. I pulled out my phone, recording still running from the moment I entered, and stopped it. 47 minutes. My lawyer will love this, I said. You just confessed to fraud, interference, and planned sabotage. That's a lawsuit, Rebecca. Tortious interference. Damages. Her face paled. You recorded us. Like you impersonated me on calls. Fraud. Mom stood. You can't sue family. I can, and I will. I left. The next morning, Detective Morrison called about Rebecca's harassment complaint against me. I sent the recording. 15 minutes later, referral to DA for fraud and impersonation. Restraining order advised. Jennifer filed suit Thursday, $87,000 compensatory plus punitives. Rebecca served Friday at work, public, humiliating. Mom begged me to stop. I refused. Hearing 3 weeks later. Judge Hartman, stern, fair, listened to the tape, saw the evidence. Preliminary injunction granted. Damages hearing 2 weeks out. Final hearing, $87,000 awarded plus $25,000 punitive equals $112,000 total. Rebecca Pale. Husband defeated. Wedding October 14th, perfect. No objections. Parents absent. Rebecca barred. Payment plan accepted. $112,000 over 5 years, $139,000 total. Monthly checks continue. $2,317 each. Memo, wedding interference settlement. 6 months married now. Small house. Happy life. No family contact. Clock ticks on mantle. Rebecca tried to erase my future. Instead, she funds it. Every month a reminder. Boundaries blood. Some lessons cost $112,000 exactly. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories. Get more experiences.